Okay, hello everyone. So this is going to be the first video that reviews the options for assignment 4. So this video is going to primarily focus on option 1. So as I mentioned in class about 2 weeks ago or so, these are the sections of the paper that I want you to do for assignment 4. I definitely want you to do the introduction, okay? And then I also would like you to do the issue section. All right. And then once you do the issue section, definitely do the purpose. And don't forget that I do want you to copy these three letter or three sorry, to copy these words. The purpose of the study is to, and then select one of the options and then explain what you mean by that. Okay. And then once you're done with the purpose, then you're gonna go to the research questions. But please note in terms of how I've organized or structured this particular section of the essay. So you'll notice that I have the introductory sentence here, and then below the introductory sentence, I have listed the three questions that I'm asking potentially about this project that I'm working on. And then this is the paragraph explaining how the questions frame the topic. Okay. And then wrote, once you have written the paragraph explaining how your questions frame your topic, then you're going to write a brief, sorry about that, a brief, uh, paragraph explaining how you classify your questions as either conceptual or applied. Okay. Now, once you're done with this section, then you're going to go to the lit review. Okay. And this is again for option 1. And actually, let me write it here. All right. For option 1. So, what you're going to do, so this paragraph right here is the paragraph listing my 8 sources. All right. So, you're going to write like this introductory sentence, and then you're going to list your sources. But if you notice, the way that I decided to list my sources is by the year of publication. Okay. So there's actually different ways of how to organize your sources. So like I mentioned, I decided to do it based on your publication, but then you could also do it based on alphabetical order, but more specifically using their last name. Okay. So it doesn't necessarily matter in which manner you're ordering your 8 sources, as long as you're consistent and it's obvious for your reader to understand how you are organizing your 8 sources for this paragraph. Okay. Now, once you're done with this paragraph, this is the second paragraph that I mentioned that you're going to use your annotated bibliographic reference and just use it within the context of this paper. All right. And as I mentioned in class, you want to be sure that when you copy and paste the entry from the annotated bibliography or assignment number 3, that you make sure that it reads as an integrated essay and not read as a fractured essay. Okay. I explain in this section, or sorry, the first part of the paragraph, in terms of how Valkova explains human trafficking in her article, and and how she's able to relate it to specific historical events like the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991. Um, Okay, and then I also explain that the reason why I selected her article is in terms of how well she shows how large structural disruptions can lead to the destabilization and the disruption of everyday activities in certain communities, which leave certain members of that community vulnerable to being human trafficked around the world. Okay. And then I also explain how what she's going to add in terms of my research. Okay. And then lastly, I explained like the concept that she's using. So then I sort of identified the term trafficker, and I defined it based on how she defined it and how I intend to use it within the context of my own work. Okay, and then this last paragraph is what I mentioned in terms of how you intend to use, or sorry, excuse me, how you intend to organize the remainder of your paper by just providing like a synopsis. Okay. So, yeah, so hopefully that makes sense. So you'll notice I'll go back to the top for this section. All right, just to make sure that it's clear. So this is the introductory sentence for option one for the lit review, listing your 8 sources. And then this particular paragraph, oops, sorry about that. So then this particular paragraph is would be the sorry, my annotated bibliographic reference I would use Valkova's article in my work. Okay, and then this last paragraph is just explaining what I intend to do for my work, or for my research. Okay, for the lit review. All right. So hopefully that makes sense. And then once you're done with that, then you're going to write out your significance, right? And here I just sort of explained the two different ways of how my research aligns with the existing literature in terms of how the understanding the term connectivity can help facilitate human trafficking around the world, as well as how commercial airlines or modern forms of travel has helped facilitate the spread of human trafficking around the world. Okay, and then once you're done with those two things for the significance, then you're going to go to the outcome, and then here I sort of explain what I appreciated about the research cycle, as well as uh, appreciating the importance of systematically studying something to be able to avoid like repetitions, or to avoid going on tangential thinking or themes of my research that has nothing to do with the specific topic that I am writing about. And then, of course, the last two sentences or so are just there to explain what I learned based off my research that I completed. Okay, so I hope this makes sense. And this is again for option one. Now I'm going to start on option two.